Welcome back to another manga review. Now, last time I reviewed a manga was over a month ago. I know it took me forever to read this because I was working on art stuff that took up a lot of my time. But now that I'm finished with it, I had plenty of time to read while I did work on art, but I had more time to read. I completely forgot to do an intro to this. Whatever. So today's review will be on Death Note issue 3, volume 3. Sorry. Here's the front. The side, here's the back with the description if you want to read that here. There you go. And before I get into saying that, talking about it, I've already seen the anime, so I know my experience is going to be, different than the uninformed reader. But it was still phenomenal. So what does this cover in anime terms? So this covers about when Light gets into college and is approached by L and joins the task force up until the introduction of Misa Misa. And it was such a phenomenal read. Even though I've already seen the anime, it's so good. Death Note is, or as I like to call it, Death Goat, because that's right, it's the goat. The goat is it's one of my favorite animes. So understandably, it's one of my favorite manga. My two favorite manga, just to throw it out there, anime right here. Fooly Cooly, Death Note, and I don't have Serial Experiments Lane, but Advil. I promise it's just Advil. But yeah. The art is phenomenal as always. The pacing is phenomenal, not a moment wasted. I mean, the pacing is... These books have some of the best pacing I've ever seen. Hold on, let me pick out a random panel. I mean, look at how expressive they can be. Look at this. It's phenomenal. The artwork is a 10 out of 10. The pace... I think, like I already said, the pacing is what this book does better than anything. It feels like every bit of dialogue, every panel, it really is serving to move the story forward, and there doesn't ever feel like there's any filler. It really does feel like they're always working towards something. The story is always progressing, and that's what I love, is because some comics, some manga, they can kind of feel like at times it's very filler, not filler, but some issues or volumes or whatnot can feel almost like they didn't quite know where they were going yet, so they were just kind of stalling for time. Which is perfectly understandable. It's not very common, let me just say that, but there are some, things I've read where I'm like, alright, bro, what are you doing? Come on now, let's get into it. But not with Death Note. Death Note never disappoints. I'm about to start reading issue 4. I got the entire box set. Right there we go. So I'm about to start reading issue 4. But, I know I probably didn't say anything informative, but, I will read, how about this, I'll read you the back just to make up for it, and then I'll give you my final rating. Light Yagami is an ace student with great prospects, and he's bored out of his mind, but all that changes when he finds the Death Note, a notebook dropped by a rogue Shinigami death god. Any human whose name is written in the notebook dies, and now Light has vowed to use that power of the Death Note to rid the world of evil. But when criminals begin dropping dead, the authorities send the legendary detective L to track down the killer. With L hot on his heels, will Light lose sight of his noble goal or his life? And here is the description for this book specifically. Light is chafing under L's extreme surveillance, but even 64 microphones and cameras hidden in his room aren't enough to stop Light. He steps up the game, but before the battle of wits can really begin, a family emergency distracts him. But even though Light isn't using the Death Note right now, someone else is. Who is the new Kira in town? Phenomenal book. I just figured that I'd read it to you because it'll be better described on the back than I'll describe it. So, now, the final part. What would I rank it out of 10, and would I recommend Death Note Volume 3 to you? So out of 10, I'm a little bit biased because I am a big fan of Death Note. I'm gonna rank Death Goat 10 out of 10. And would I recommend it to you? Abso-fucking-lutely. I probably should. I know YouTube is going to absolutely demolish me for cursing, but whatever. It's not a platform made for kids, but they still force us to be all kid-friendly, whatever. And what would I rank it out of 10? 10 out of 10. But I would highly advise you read volume 1 and 2 before reading 3 so you don't get it spoiled, or watch the anime, then read the manga, or read the manga, then watch the anime. Your choice. Both are good, great adaptation, and yeah, don't watch the movie. Yuck, yuck. I'll see you on the next one.